we'll go ahead and get started. So,
Was Joe limited or full today?
Joe, were you limited? Joe was full. Looks like he's going to come back strong. We're in good shape.
This is something we saw at practice. Was the black helmets? You excited about those this week?
Yeah, sure. It's protective gear. It should be good. No, I have no comment on that. I really don't. It's a nice look.
You don't. Yeah. Okay. So you don't care about the fashion.
I am, as you can tell, I'm really not into fashion. I wish my wife says I wish I could be a little better in fashion, but I'm not. But that's all I have on that.
What about getting through a workout with so many guys not practicing today?
We were able to manage and get through. Kind of sometimes Wednesdays are like that, and that was kind of one of those Wednesdays. We had a few guys out. Some guys got the flu bug. That's going around a little bit, so we just had to adapt.
Burns with the ankle, are you concerned about his availability this week?
I'm not. It's typical veteran, just a little sore. I think he'll be fine.
Jordan Matthews is a veteran tight end. What do you expect to get out of him?
He's a guy that's played a lot of football in this league, and if called up, he's a guy that can obviously run. We've played him in the Chicago game. He gives us some other unique things that we can do at that position.
The last time you faced Desmond, he didn't have as many games and experience under his belt. What do you see this week?
Oh, he's playing well. He's doing a really nice job. Obviously, the receivers out there are playing really well. They got the back. I mean, there's a lot of good players. They're still committed to running the football, and when they get ahead of the change, they get into the play action game and all those things. But Desmond, he's doing a nice job for him.
Chris, you mentioned when you had like a special teams miscue like you had with the punt that you kind of have a 4-week clock of teams trying to attack that. Does that mean you change anything about how you protect or do anything, or you just execute that?
No, I think first and foremost, when you have a mistake, you got to really, as bad as it stinks, you have to reevaluate and say, was it a schematic thing or was it just an error? And then I think once you diagnose that problem, it probably helps you where you want to go. But at the same time, I mean, you got to perform better, and that still hurts. So for us, Sunday can't get here fast enough to see if we've rectified the problem.
Is McCray a potentially season-ending?
It's possible. We'll still have to wait and see.
And are you going to continue to roll with Cade there?
Yeah, he did a nice job coming in, and really proud of his play there.
Curious why the field's covered with plastic.
I think it's a blanket, to be honest with you. The field's covered with plastic. I think it's a blanket that keeps the grass warm. I mean, as George Toma always used to say, I mean, grass grows by inches and it's killed by feet. So, we're just trying to help it grow. You probably had no idea I knew that, did you?
I didn't know there was grass over there.
Yep, just a blanket, kind of like you put over your flowers on a cold night.
Just to clarify, you're talking about the artificial turf?
Oh, that?
Clarify, you're talking
Yeah,
about
okay, I've seen the plastic on our practice fields.
No, it's over the field. I didn't know what that had to do with last year at Detroit where it got cold.
I think what that does, it's a heating to make sure that the turf stays warm.
Okay.
Yes. I'm sorry, I didn't know which field you were talking about.
I thought you were growing grass now.
No, I wanted to make sure I answered your question properly.
Sure, Yarder, situations continue to be an issue offensively. How are you guys looking into that heading into this week's matchup?
Well, I obviously want to convert. I think we were 6 of 6 on the 3rd and 1s. I know we struggled in the 4th and 1 area there. So, we'll look at it. We'll look at all options.
You mentioned at the start of the week changing at least the formal meetings Monday. What difference or impact have you noticed from doing that?
I thought it was good. We had a good practice today. We had good meetings. You're into the 4th quarter of the season, and it's been a long season. I mean, if you think about it, we've been going since the end of July, and you're going every day. I think it's very normal around the league that you change things up here at the end, and that's what we did today. I mean, we're now going from a walkthrough right into practice. You're still doing all the same work. You're just kind of maybe taking some of the air out in between, so that at the end of the day they can have more time to get rehab, to get healthy. Because right now you just want to try to take the healthiest team you can to these Final Four games.
Was that something that you decided to do, or with feedback from maybe guys on the team?
We talked about it as a staff, and there's been a lot of guys on the team that have also done that. I've been a part of of this schedule, the walkthrough into practice. To me, it's about what do you get done in those areas. It's not that you're cutting back and cheating things, because then you'd be cheating the process. There's a rhyme and reason for it, and that's really about getting guys healthy. And I like it. To be honest with you, you get out on the grass a little bit longer, and it's nice.
Chris, Bryce was fairly, I don't know, frustrated, down, whatever word you want to use, Sunday. How do you see him respond when things go poorly after he's, watched film, done the corrections, that kind of stuff?
I think he's come back. I think that's what a competitor does. And I think all players do that to certain degrees. You talked about the punt earlier. I'm not. It bothers me tremendously. All you can do now is let it drive you, and go. And I think that's what Bryce will do.
Chris, back on the field cover, do you know if that was in response to the Lions game last year?
I have no idea. That's above my pay grade.
Bryce, how do you guys have like one-on-ones talking about how he's being able to handle this, particularly later in the year as it gets tougher and tougher?
Sure, we talk to all players, to be honest with you. And I understand the question just regarding Bryce, but at the same time, there's a lot of other players. So I interact with everyone, and you just got to keep going.
No, I understand that, and I just think him especially because you've seen quarterbacks almost ruined by rookie years sometimes because of the mental blows they take more than the physical. Have you been a part of that before?
Well, and I'll say this. On the other side, I've seen quarterbacks be great quarterbacks because of what they went through in their rookie season. I think what was that player's name? Peyton Manning? He turned out okay.
No, there are a lot of them. I just was...
No, and I get your question, but I'll be honest with you. I'm going to stay more on the positive side than looking at the negative side, because I think the negative side, it's way too easy. It's too easy of a conversation. The positive side, it's hard. You got to grind through. You got to keep going, and I'd rather be on that side, because that's the challenge, and that's what competitors like, and he's a competitor.
Chris, Campen's kind of dealing with the special teams treatment at guard. Have you? You get to see it with blocking assignments on special teams. Can you recall a season where you had to deal with such a mash unit at one or two positions?
No, I haven't. It's just kind of one of those. I do think our training staff is doing a great job of trying to get guys back. But there's been some tough injuries that you wouldn't think of, and that's just kind of unfortunately part of football. At the same time, it's an opportunity for someone else. And then what are they going to do with that? Because as we hit again today, we're on the, and I said this, a couple weeks ago, we're on the 4-week evaluation. You, me, whoever's in that room, we're in the 4-week evaluation, and the tape is all that matters. And whatever happens, that tape, somebody's going to say, hey, how did he play when it was really bad and he was in a really hard spot? He plays well, then you really like that player. And so I think that's what we're going through right now.
What does it say about Cade, who basically had a start that he didn't actually start and played as well as he did?
It talks a lot about him, obviously, as a player. Number two, about his preparation and his process, and that he's locked in, ready to go, so that when he's getting, whether it be scout team reps, those reps matter. And I think that's what the kid did, and really proud of him.
What has gone into the decision to make Terrace inactive the last few games?
I think it's just an accumulation of a lot of things. He's playing well on the scout team. We gave Mike an opportunity there, and also in the special teams area. There's a lot of factors that go into the 48. It's not always just about offense and defense. And I think those are things when you write about that you got to go a little deeper on.
Just thoughts,
Wrap up with Steve.
Bijan Robinson, what you've seen out of him, and is he the focal point this week?
Oh yeah, no, they're such a great running team. They do a great job. He's explosive. He's physical. He's downhill. We got to tackle him, and they got a lot of guys back there. So he definitely has our attention.